So what if I told you that how you structure your accounting department could literally be the most important decision you make for your company's growth? In today's world, accounting is so much more than just balancing the books. It's really about building these smart, efficient systems by blending your own team with global partners.
All right, let's dive in. Here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll get the foundation right, the key roles inside your own company. Then we'll start looking outward at global partners, starting with nearshoring and then going big with offshoring. We'll also uncover a really cool secret weapon for CPA firms called white labeling. And then we'll wrap it all up to help you figure out the perfect setup for your business.
Okay, first things first. Before we even think about outsourcing or building global teams, we've got to get our own house in order. And that really starts with understanding the two key leadership roles that drive your finances from the inside.
This is the big question, right? It gets right to the heart of your entire financial operation. How you answer this doesn't just define the two most critical roles you have in-house, it also shines a huge spotlight on any gaps in your current system. Get this wrong, and you're either flying blind or you're just stuck in the weeds.
So the real difference here is all about scope. Think of it like this. Your accounting manager is in the trenches every day, keeping the engine running smoothly. We're talking invoices, payroll, reconciliations. They make sure all the data is spot on. But the controller? They're up in the command tower, using that data to steer the ship. They're focused on the big picture, budgets, financial statements, and strategy. They tell you what it all means, and you absolutely need both to win.
So once you have that solid foundation at home, it's time to look beyond your own four walls. And the first step on that outsourcing ladder for a lot of businesses is a strategy called nearshoring.
Nearshoring is pretty much what it sounds like. You're finding expert help, but in a nearby country. It's such a popular option because you get the cost savings of outsourcing, but without the headache of trying to manage huge time zone differences. It's kind of the perfect middle ground for businesses that need to save money but can't afford to lose that real-time collaboration.
And this is exactly why it's so appealing. Because you share working hours, communication is just easy. It's smooth. There's often a better cultural alignment too, which makes collaboration feel totally natural. It honestly feels less like outsourcing and more like just extending your local team, but with a much, much friendlier price tag.
Okay, but what if you need to go bigger? What if your ambitions are truly global and you need to squeeze every ounce of efficiency out of every single day? Well, that's when we start talking about offshoring.
Offshoring is a total game changer. We're talking about partnering with incredible, skilled teams anywhere in the world to handle complex work, which unlocks massive efficiencies and taps into a 24-hour work cycle. This is really the move for companies that are serious about scaling up fast.
Now, let's talk numbers for a second. 60%. According to our source, that's the potential drop in operational costs businesses can see by hiring offshore. Just think about that. A number like that can completely change a company's entire financial trajectory.
But this isn't just about saving cash. It's about getting a serious strategic advantage. You're tapping into this huge pool of experts who are already trained in U.S. accounting standards. And because of the time zone difference, your accounting work is literally getting done while you sleep. Can you imagine leaving a complex problem at 5 p.m. and finding the solution sitting in your inbox at 9 a.m.?
All right, now for a real pro move. This is a strategy that's like a secret weapon, especially for CPA firms that want to supercharge their growth without losing their brand identity.
The easiest way to think about this is you've got this huge expert back office team working for you, but to your clients, they're completely invisible. Your partner does all the heavy lifting in the background, and your firm gets to present the beautiful, finished work under your own name. It's the ultimate way to get more capacity while keeping total brand control.
And this quote just nails it. It perfectly captures the whole idea behind the white label model. It's about letting your team shift their energy away from the tedious, repetitive stuff and instead focus on what really matters: high-value client strategy and bringing in new business. So you can see how this just changes everything for a CPA firm. Suddenly, tax season is manageable, not a frantic sprint. You can start offering new services like audits or specialized tax prep without having to hire a bunch of new full-time people. And all the while, you keep complete control of your client relationships, which boosts your efficiency and, of course, your bottom line.
Okay, so we've covered a ton of ground, from in-house roles to these big global partnerships. But the million-dollar question is, how do you take all this and figure out what's actually right for your business?
Well, it really comes down to a simple 3-step framework.
First, you have to be honest about your business's size and complexity. A small startup is a totally different world from a giant corporation. Second, you have to get real about your budget and how fast you truly want to scale. And third, and listen, this one is completely non-negotiable, you have to make data security and compliance your absolute top priority with any partner you even think about working with.
So here's the bottom line. Your accounting structure, it isn't just some operational detail on a spreadsheet. It is a fundamental, strategic decision that is going to define the future of your company. It determines how you scale, how you adapt, and whether you thrive. So the real question isn't just what your structure will be, but what kind of future are you building?